morning. Good morning, everyone. So today is Monday, the 9th of February. As usual, we are all gathering here to show our appreciation and gratitude to the Triple Gem, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. This is our usual practice. And as a Buddhist practitioner, this is one of the very important part of the practice. Not only to show the respect to the Buddha, but also to train ourselves and to reflect, which will help us to understand the true knowledge, true understanding. As the Buddha said again and again, that once we have taken the three triple gem as a refuge, it will help us at all the time, helping us to understand the Four Noble Truths, the suffering that we are going through, and understanding that this suffering has a cause, and this suffering can be ended, and there is the way to end the suffering. Having understood that, we will be reflecting again and again in our actions, and also developing and cultivating the wholesome things. In terms of the reflecting, we will be reflecting our actions, a physical action, the verbal speech, and a mental thinking, thoughts. We will be reflecting on that again and again, whether these actions are wholesome or unwholesome, whether these are beneficial or unbeneficial, whether these are bringing happiness or unhappiness. So regularly we will be reflecting it again and again, every morning and every evening, which will help us to see all the actions that I'm doing. In fact, it is harmful for my body, harmful for my mind, harmful for my living standard. Such as a physical action. We will be reflecting again and again the action that I'm taking physically, whether that is wholesome or unwholesome. Reflecting on again and again gives us insight into it. There are unwholesome actions are like killing or harming other beings, stealing or taking what is not given to you, and having no misconducts. So these three are normally done by the physical body. So reflecting on that, and with that reflection, we will be decreasing from committing, if we are committing those, and abandoning them, and completely uprooting of those actions. Similarly, a verbal speech. We will be reflecting that each words, each sentences, or wherever we are speaking with someone, we will be reflecting that the stories that I'm going to tell, whether that is suitable or not. Am I lying? Is it for the gossips? Is it the slander? Is it the harsh words? By reflecting that, generating the awareness of this speech, the more we reflect, the more we become aware of it, and then slowly decreasing, abandoning, and uprooting from our minds and our heart. Those practitioners to be the Buddha, the Bodhisattvas, this is one of the practice that never violated. So this is the reflection that we do through the verbal speech. And then a mental thinking We're also reflecting that each thought that we are having in anywhere at any time, is it imbued with the desire to get somebody's things? Or is it imbued with the negativities or negative thoughts towards any beings? Or is it the thought that I'm having is not the correct or wrong, it's under the wrong view? When we reflect in these ways, we gradually become mindful of our own mind, our own thoughts. And further on, we will be able to understand that after these reflections, a thought is the key, the speech and the actions are the results. Without the thinking, there won't be a speech, and without the thinking, there won't be an action, physical action. So these are the basic reflections we will be doing again and again. Not only during the time of the chanting, but also after it. We will be doing it again and again. After doing so, reflection alone is not the end in Buddhist practice. We have to cultivate or develop. A development is another factor that we always look for. A Buddha's instruction is to cultivate towards the wholesome deed. So we abandoned all the negativities, but towards now the development towards the wholesome deeds now. And that wholesome deeds, again, after reflection we realize that these unwholesome activities has got the main root causes are, and those root causes are the greed, wanting to be, wanting this, wanting that, or a desire, or a resentment, or ignorance. And based on those, we have been acting, and because of their actions, we are experiencing suffering. So in terms of the cultivation, as a result, the Buddha encouraged us to practice from the basic level, and that basic level is giving the dana, the offerings. Oftentimes we have the understanding that offering brings the luck, offering brings the comfortability in our life with the material gains and also a material fulfillment. It is true, after we have given, there is a result of getting, sometimes can be more. And as a result of that, we often give to so many people, different levels, including animals. So main ethos of a giving, we know that after we have given, we will be rewarded in many ways. Yet, this is not the end of the practice of a giving in according to the Buddha's teachings. According to the Buddha's teachings, the end of the giving is to eliminate the desire, stinginess, attachment, grasping onto the material possessions, which is difficult for general public. We all have some sort of attachment towards the material things. Possessiveness is there and desire. So that's why when we give, the ultimate sense of a giving is to overcome from this possessiveness, overcome from desire. Which is the reason why the Buddha proclaimed that giving to the Arhat is the highest, which again he did not deny, and he did not taught us not to give to the animals or poor people or those who are suffering. You can. and we should. But in order to gain the merits, and also in order to encourage us to free from desire or giving without expecting anything in return, or giving is to diminish and uprooting, abandoning and uprooting the desire, we should be giving to someone who has given up. So that's why giving to the monks and giving to the one who is morally perfect is regarded as the greatest givings. Yes, it is sometimes can be confusing. Yes, it is sometimes can make us, our saddha can be changed, our faith can change due to the individual's behavior, like the monk's bad behavior. We may be discouraged to give monks, but that should not be the case. We should think of the community, not a monk, but the community. So whenever you're giving to the community, then it will help you to overcome from the possessiveness, from this desire, the tanha that we are accustomed or caused by it, gaining rebirths in the samsara again and again. So the first practice is to give the dana that we have to cultivate and develop. And developing from wanting to not wanting, complete elimination of the desire. The second practice is the sila, morality. And this morality practice is again another factor that we all should be aware of, and we should be practicing it. When there is no moral practice, then everything becomes chaotic. It disturbs our mind and it disturbs our livelihood. And not only our mind and our livelihood, it also disturbs the community. And it also affects to the entire environment and the world. That's why the Buddha said that when there is a leader who is immoral, the entire country becomes immoral. People will not know that which morality should follow and which not. And as a result, there will be more chaos, and chaotic society will emerge. So practice of a sila in many ways is always regarded as good for our physical well-being, mental well-being, social harmony, and keep the entire universe in harmony. Further on, this is a foundation for our own mental cultivation. Without the moral practice, unlikely we can develop mental purity. It creates the boundary. It creates the cultivate the field that we can cultivate without any trouble. It's like a weeding out before we plant. It's one of the very important supportive tools for the cultivation of the mind. So that's why this is the second cultivation or development that we have to be mindful of, and cultivating it in everyday life. And the sila, the moral practice, Buddha gave simple practice, the 5. Not to kill or harm any beings, not to take what is not given or steal, not to have sexual misconduct, not to lie, and not to take substance that clouds the mind. And among these, again, most of us, very difficult to maintain just 5 of this. which is the reason our mind is disturbed, our mind is not settled, which is the reason there is a conflict in the relationship. There is a crack in a relationship breakdown, friendship breaks, business breaks. And which is the reason we are living with a fear, dread, shame, and so on. So that's why the practice of a sila is very crucial in many levels for our own well-being, for well-being of the relationships, well-being of the families, well-being of the society, and so on. That's another reason why the Buddha always encourages us to practice that. Without that, we will not be able to purify the mind. Now, third one, the purification of the mind, which is obviously, we know that how important it is. The purification of the mind is so crucial in our life. Otherwise, we will be always in a negative state, thinking negative, doing negative. Everything is just a mess. Complaining this or that, not going according to our wish, we become agitated. Going according to our wish, we become very happy. And that will again affect to our mental well-being, and obviously it also spread to our physical body and then society, community, and so on. So that's why the ultimate part of the Buddhist development, Buddha's practice is to develop the mental cultivation, which is the main core of the practice. So the purification of the mind brings purity in our hearts, in our mind. Whatever we do, it becomes pure. So with that, not only become a kind and compassion to yourself, but you will be more kind and compassion to others. Beginning to joy on others' success. So emotionally become a balanced, not being jealous, and able to keep the mind in equanimity, equanimous, in a balanced state. So that's why regularly that we come and do these evening and morning chantings basically is to reflect, not only performing a duty as a Buddhist or practitioner, Buddhist practitioner, and paying respect to the Triple Zem, but also it's a reflection and a development for ourselves, reflecting our actions, and then cultivation that helps to grow in the path and also will help us to have a mental and physical well-being. So I wish you all the best, and thank you everyone for coming and joining these evening and morning chanting, which will bring you good luck and happiness in many different forms. So may you all be well and happy.